I'm just really thinking though, if God forbid the three of us ever end up shooting anywhere near each other, it's gotta be absolute chaos.
Well, have you heard?
It's chaos whenever you're on the line with anybody. It doesn't need the us two.
This is true. This is true.
Welcome to a different kind of archery podcast. We're all about the real stories, practical tips, and the shared passion for this timeless sport. Join us for insightful conversations with archers, experts, and enthusiasts from all walks of life. From hitting the golds to the pursuit of personal growth through archery, we've got it all. So get ready to knock your arrow and take aim at a world of archery knowledge. This is Unstrung Archery.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Unstrung Archery, the podcast where we step up to the shooting line and try not to miss the target entirely. I'm Neil Hickman, joined as ever by Nye O'Neil.
Hello everyone, greetings from what has been a surprisingly sunny Morecambe up until this week.
Yeah, the weather's been great around here until yesterday. But anyway, tonight we're joined by fellow Archery GB Ambassador, someone many of you may already know, Mandie Elson.
Hi, everybody.
So those of you that know Mandie know that she's a bit of a busy bee. She's been out and about doing great work as part of her ambassador role. But rather than hearing me ramble on about it and probably get it all wrong, let's go straight to the source. Mandie, welcome to the podcast. Do you want to tell us what you've been up to lately?
Right, yeah. Hello, everybody. I've been doing a variety of different projects and working in different organisations to try and really promote archery within the community and surrounding areas. So some of you will probably have seen me volunteering at the British Transplant Games. I've studied sign language level 1 so that I can help those with hearing difficulties. I have also been working with several schools within my area to try and promote the sport with young children from the age of 6. I also do archery at one disabled school in Newark, which is called Newark Orchard Archers. I run that with fellow instructors who I trained as part of the development training programme that I'm with Archery GB, Kate and Joe. And I'm working closely now with setting up another archery club over in Grantham, which has got a really cool name. It's going to be called Newton Bridge Archery Club. And that's something to do with the historical building that the school is at Grantham. So that's a few things I'm working on. Oh, and another one that I'm doing as well is I've connected with the local Veterans Patriotic Society. I'm in early stages now of trying to put on a session for the veterans. And there's over 100 and 120 of the veterans in this club. So that's going to be all hands on deck at my club to try and get that set up and done for them as well.
Yeah, I can imagine that'll take quite a lot of time for you, I'd imagine, making all this happen.
It does take it. Yes, my other half says, "Are you actually going to get something that you get paid for?" I said, "Yeah, I don't need to. You go off to work. I'll do all this voluntary stuff. That's fine." Yeah, I mean, I don't see it as time consuming, and I certainly don't see it as work. It's something that I'm very passionate about. I really like getting people involved who wouldn't otherwise be able to do this sport. And I think all of us, we're very fortunate if we can rock up to an archery field and go and fling our arrows and hopefully hit the target, as someone said earlier on. But there are lots of people who can't do that, who cannot go to an archery club, whereby we need to go to them. And we need to give them the experience of what archery is about. And that, for me, is the pinnacle of wanting to do the ambassador programme and try and encourage as many people who don't have that fortunate space to be able to come to us. So I'll go to them.
Yeah, because I always remember growing up, I'm probably misremembering where the quote came from, but it's been one I always associated with archery around the time of 2012 about it being a sport for all. And it's sort of, obviously, we want to make clubs as welcoming as we can for people, but to be able to take archery out into the community as well, that should be another part of what we do for promoting the sport as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because we all know with archery, we know that we need a range, we need targets, we need equipment. And I have a whole spectrum of gear stored at my house. And it's easier for me to be able to get those targets and the bows and the arrows to a place rather than transporting the people from their place to where we shoot. And I think that's the goal that I'm working on, is to try and get it to as many places as possible.
That sounds a really good ambition to have that, and that sounds of it, not just an ambition, it sounds like it's already successful. And I suppose one thing I was going to ask, actually, Mandie, just to follow on, because obviously me and Neil, we both know you very well. We know that you're really, we know how good fun you are, and you're good, and you're really passionate with the sport as well. But just for our listeners at home, I was wondering, for those who haven't come across you yet, if you could just give us a very brief sort of background about your time in archery, how you got into it, and sort of things that you enjoy doing in the sport as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always been a sporty person, and my background is personal training. I ended up moving to London for a little while, and then we decided to come back to Newark, and I just happened to see an advert for a beginner's course in the local paper for archery. And it was always something that was, like a lot of people, something stimulates you and says, oh, archery, but then you put it on the back burner because it's not out there, is it? Let's face it, it's not on the news, it's not in local papers or anything like that. So I went and joined the beginner's course, and I got the bug for it straight away. Absolutely loved it. Now, my signature is my hair. My hair, whether I've been personal training, whether I'm on a bike or in archery, my hair is my signature. And, it's a guess sometimes of what colour my hair is going to be when people see me. Generally, it's purple, because purple's my favourite colour. And I make a little mark on people because I look at life as being something. I'm very fortunate to be in the position that I am. I've had a very, very rocky road to get to where I am now. And those who know me will know that Archery GB have put, there has been reports and celebrations and, stuff about my back history. So for me, it's about recognizing that your mental health is very important, and sport is something that can help mental health and interaction
Absolutely.
with people.
Yeah.
And for me, that archery has given me that platform to be able to connect to people that I would not have connected with prior to joining archery. I like to have a good time, and I like to have a laugh. My sense of humour and my personality hopefully, generates fun and relaxation with the people that I connect with, and certainly children. I absolutely love. I find myself going down to a child's level and talk to them as though I'm a grown-up, but also understand where the child is and how to communicate with them. And I just fell in love with the sport completely, because for me, it gave me a mindful side of it. It was my time to be able to stand on a shooting line, not think of anything else other than that pesky arrow going to the target. And obviously every archer's dream to hit the gold. That doesn't always, it's not every arrow, is it? As we all know, no matter how good we are. But it's about being able to share the delight and the comfort and the passion that I have to other people, no matter who they are. And it's led me to meet some absolutely fantastic and inspiring people.
Yeah, because I've picked that up when I've been. I think there's been a few times. I think probably on the Clout Field. I think where we've been at the same event as something, and I don't know if we've ever actually. I can't remember if we've actually spoken in person before today or not. But I've always picked. You've always stood out even halfway down the line when I'm on the gents targets, and it's sort of like, yep, that's someone I want to have. That's someone who I'd have a good time with.
Yeah.
So the energy that you've brought to the events, I've definitely picked up on already, mate.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It is, because I look at it from the position of no one knew what my journey was to the archery range. Everybody has a different journey, whether it be a life journey, whether it be a week journey or a day journey, depending on work, family, any experience that they have. So when I'm on the archery range, I want to just perpetuate the fun element of it and the calmness. And I'm not necessarily calm all the time, because I am a little bit, I can be a bit wild, as people who know me will understand. But it's all coming from a good place. It's all coming from a positive place.
I'm just really thinking though, if God forbid the three of us ever end up shooting anywhere near each other, it's gonna be absolute chaos.
Well, have you heard?
It's chaos whenever you're on the line with anybody. It doesn't need the us two.
This is true. This is true. I mean, it's like with the cloud that you've just alluded to. I've got a good reputation within the clout, and there are some fantastic people in the clout discipline. And we, it was like I was at a clout shoot this last weekend, and one of the judges said, "Don't put me on the next to the circle with Mandie in it, because there'll be too much singing." Because we sing depending on how many arrows. So if someone's got 555, staying alive, staying alive.
Oh,
444,
nice.
how do you like it? How do you like it? We sing. So if someone's got 3 arrows at the same number, we sing. And if someone's got 321, dusty bin. Even though that comes down to the fact, depending on how young they are on the shoot, the competition, if they know what dusty bin is. Anyone out there know what dusty bin is? Google it.
I was going to say, I'm afraid that one's gone over my head, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Some people will know it.
I know it.
Yeah. Some people of a certain age, certain generation.
It was a game show called 321, basically, and the mascot was a wheelie bin that
Dusty
had
bin.
eyes and arms, Dusty Bin.
Nice.
You're gonna have to Google that now, Nye.
I will be. And you know what? That's going to go all over the That's going to be going all over the Unstrung Archery social media as well.
Yeah, 321, Dusty Bin. Oh dear.
All right. Well, you mentioned inspiring people, so let's get back to something that is rather inspiring about the British Transplant Games.
Ooh, yes.
I'm more interested in what role did you play and what kind of impact did it have on you personally?
I've done the British Transplant Games now. I think it's 3 years on the trot, and the one that's coming up is in Oxford, so I'm down to volunteer for that. I mean, that just was really such an inspiring, heartfelt position to meet these wonderful people who are all there because somebody has lost their life, and being able to donate an organ to be able to make their life more healthy for them, and the fact that they're still here. So when you're there, and the people, and they're just lovely, and they value life as well. And my role is as coach, and also basically whatever. I don't mind what role I do when I'm at any sort of like event, because everything helps to make the event run smoothly. Last year it was in Nottingham, which is my home city. And there was a young lady that came, and I was just absolutely inspired by her, 100%. She'd had sepsis and was a triple amputee. She came up to me and said, I really want to have a go. I've had a plate made, so she hadn't got any, she'd lost her fingers on her left hand. She'd got her fingers on her right hand. So a plate that slotted between the eyes. And I just said to her, come on, we'll go and give this a go. Now, I appreciate that not everyone has that, I'll be cautious of the words that I do, experience when you're working with, a variety of different people. So, and people are like, well, what about her balance? Doesn't, she's got her prosthetics limbs on. She was fine, absolutely fine. So we got the bow in her hand. I placed it in between the gadget that she had, and she shot, and no thinking about it, and the smile on her face was just absolutely brilliant. And we did a few sessions together in that games, and then I gave her some links for clubs that hopefully she would be accepted in to be able to continue her journey. I did hear from her a few times after the games, and I'm hoping to see her this particular games as well, just to catch up with her and see whether or not she's taking it up as a sport, as a hobby.
Oh, fingers. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, because it's
absolutely. And then there's another lady, Kirsty, her name is. She won't mind me using her first name. And I actually met her. Excuse me a minute. Met her. She's been attending all the transplant games that I've been to, and I saw her a few weeks ago at the local league shoot that we do here in Nottingham. Because I didn't realise she was actually based in Bingham, which is not far from Nottingham. And she came up to me, she went, Mandie, oh, so good to see you. And her energy and just her spirit and her passion for being there. And, literally, she was running up to me.
oh, nice.
And, chatting with her and asking her how she's doing. And what being interested in whoever it is that I'm talking to makes such a big difference.
Yeah, and because people, it's that note for them. It's for anyone you've worked with. It's knowing that you genuinely care about them, and they're not just another tick. Oh yeah, I've coached you. Tick, you're done, sort of thing. It's the actual. Yeah. And that you're genuinely interested in wanting this person to get as much out of the sport as they can as well.
Yeah, and you say you have to put so much more into it to support somebody who needs that extra support as well. You can get people coming into archery, they'll walk in, they'll shoot a bow, they'll walk out. You might not see them again, and they don't generally stick with you as much. I can imagine somebody who needs that extra support is going to hit home, and it's going to be like, right, or like you were saying, how you remember those people, and you were hoping that you're going to see them again. It doesn't generally, as a normal coach, you don't see that day to day. So I can imagine that's that really hits you right in the feels when they come back, and you're like, yeah, I remember you.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I have different people from the Transplant Games that have sent me messages to say thank you. You really made that experience really enjoyable. And I'm not blowing my own trumpet here at all, because these people are saying you made me feel so at ease, and I was relaxed, and you're just such a joyful person to be around. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, my partner may disagree with that sometimes, but yeah, and that's what I want to be able to just give somebody, and make them feel, that they can do it, they can achieve, and whatever they shoot, whatever score they get, it does not matter, because one of the things that I do hear a lot when I'm at competitions in the archery community is people really, oh God, my score's not very good, I'm not shooting very well, and it's quite a negative side of the sport. So I'm now saying to archers, please don't say that out loud. Say it in your head, because there could be someone next to you who's on a archery journey, just starting out, or even been doing it for a few years, and their score is nowhere near your bad score. And how are they going to feel if you're saying your score is really, really bad? Then that potentially could stop some archers from actually ever attending a competition, whether it's local or at a national level. And I think we all need to be mindful of that, because everyone's journey is completely different.
Treat everyone as the individual as well.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
that's always been something that I've been keen on from a young age. Is you treat whenever you're coaching someone, it's sort of we're not robots, regardless of sort of any, regardless if we've got, for as you say, like the transplant games where people have had different say the prosthesis of the lady you were telling us about before. Even if you're fully able-bodied, we're all individuals in our own right, and what'll work for one won't work for another. So,
Yeah,
like you say,
absolutely.
we treat everyone as you treat the individual person. To how do you make, so it'd be like coaching me to be the best version of Nye O'Neil possible, and make you the best version of Mandie Elson, and to make Neil the best version of Neil Hickman as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll all be different. And that's the key, isn't it? And one thing that I learned many, many years ago with my personal training side of things is you can coach people to do the practical side, but the one thing you cannot teach people is passion. Passion comes from within you as a human being. You cannot teach somebody to have passion. They need to have that as a natural characteristic.
Yeah, because agreed. Because I always say, give me, regardless of capacity, I'd rather have 50 people who really love the sport and aren't necessarily going to progress high up the level than that one person who doesn't want to be there, but as hits all the high scores. Give me the people who want to be there anytime.
Yeah, and I'm exactly the same as you. I want people who are smiling on the shooting line, and they're not concerned about, wanting to go up to the next level. And I think, again, it covers the grassroots level. Yes, we're always going to be looking for those that can go up to the elite, which is absolutely brilliant. But then 95% of us are all going to be tinkering around at the club, and we might do a few local competitions. But we're the bread and butter. We are the people that make the sport.
Yeah, definitely. And if we can make it so that we give people the opportunities to get as much as they can out of the sport as well, whatever that is. I was going to ask, and one thing I was going to ask actually, coming to how did you find archery as a sport, as a personal trainer as well? Coming in from a personal, because I'm conscious I've come in from. So I've been around sport, but I've all my life as a swimmer and things. But most of my knowledge on sport has been, and sports science, etc., has been picked up through training with my friends rather than having a proper personal training background.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always an advocate for trying to get people to, do the exercises that they need to do to be able to make themselves stronger and better. It's very good for me to be very anatomically aware, because again, it goes back to the fact that every single person is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. So it is being aware of hoping that people will do a little bit of exercise and mobility, because not every archer does. And I think, not every archer does any other sport or activity other than standing on the shooting line and walking to the boss and back. And I know there's a lot of personal trainers that do archery, and a lot of fitness people that, are doing archery and are aware of that. So it's trying to be an advocate for being as fit and healthy and as strong as you can.
Nice. Because when you sort of, it's something that I often talk to people, and it's sort of about the stuff I do outside of archery, and it's sort of, I think it's always been sort of wanted to ask, sort of like, oh, what would an actual person, someone who actually knows what they're talking about, say as well? Because I'll be the first to admit I know what works for me, but it's sort of, they saying to everyone else, yeah, but you're not me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's being aware of that, isn't it? It's like the coaching guides that we do, but again, it all goes back to you're coaching the person in front of you. You're not coaching from the book or the text, because that person in front of you could have, certainly for females, a lot of females have, hip disalignment, and they could be twisted, they could be, front to back, and a lot of people have very rounded shoulders. And you think that, archery is about working your trapezius, your lats, and muscles, rather than, keeping all this when they're working at a desk all day long, and then suddenly you're asking them to expand. So it's interesting. It is interesting.
That's always been what I've said. I get away with vast majority of the crap in my form I get away with is because I'm a distance swimmer.
Yeah.
If it weren't for that, I wouldn't get away with half the crap I get away with.
Well, I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure if you're aware of the run archery side of things, and that's always... That's actually been tempting me a bit recently. Oh, give it a go. It's great fun. It's absolutely fabulous fun. But again,
the comments earlier might disagree with me.
But again, the comments that I had, because I'm not sure if you're aware, it was my club that did the first ever run archery event in 2022, 2023. Can't remember now which year it is, because COVID got in the way.
Yeah, I'm going to say they made quite a big deal out of it. So yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, and some of the comments, I do archery because it does, I don't need to move my legs. And it was, people are very easy to get into the negativity about something rather than embracing a different discipline within the sport. Yes, it's not suitable for everybody. Not everyone wants to do run archery. I get that. But, keep your negativity to yourself and allow those that do want to do it actually crack on and do it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all at. That's always been... So obviously, I don't know if Martin Leonard from the Longbow Clout Archery. I work for him at the shop on a Saturday, and we get everyone coming in: Archery GB target archers, NFAS field, clout. We get clout archers coming in, even the horse archers as well. So it's sort of the end of the day, we're all archers. It's sort of. It's sort of like, cause you see, it's like field archer. It's sort of like we're all. There's probably a technical term for that, but I've forgotten it. But the end of the day, we're all archers. At the end of the day, we all want to fling pointy things at a target.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we were trying to achieve with the Postal League as well. A lot of Postal Leagues for Archery GB are just focused on Archery GB, but with the Unstrung Postal League, it was more like, I don't care what governing body you run under. If you're flinging pointy sticks at a target, come and join in, kind of thing. So yeah, we've always had that mentality of everybody's an archer, and it doesn't matter what discipline you're shooting, you're an archer.
Even with the podcast itself as well, that's sort of our ethos, is in get people on to say, here's the stuff here's how we fling pointy sticks. Here's how we fling pointy sticks.
Yeah. But that's great, isn't it? I mean, I don't know, in our club at the moment, we've got a young archer. He's only been with us for about a year. Very, very bright young man, very bright. And he started off barebow. Then he decided to put a sight on it. And now he's brought a horse bow, and he's using a thumb release. And he's really interested in all the different styles of archery, and he's giving them all a go. And it goes back to the work that I'm doing as the ambassador side of things, but also delivering it to schools. I don't just do the target aspect of it. I'm also showing the children how to do clout. I mean, this is with soft archery, and they love it. I mean, you give 12 kids under the age of 10 a bow and a sucker arrow, and then say to them, just draw it back, put it in the air, and see where it lands. And they love it, absolutely love it. And I'm also doing run archery with them, and I've worked alongside Gail last year to incorporate run archery into the soft archery cards, so that then it can be delivered into schools across the UK. And I'm going to work on clout to get clout in there as well, because it's showing people it's not only target archery. There's lots of other disciplines within the archery community that you can do, and what one person might enjoy target thoroughly, someone else might love clout like I do. I've really taken to clout big time. And then roves that you can do, like you say, field archery and horseback archery. I'd love to have a go at that, but horses frighten me, and you don't hold on to the horse.
No, it's what I was saying to John Goodwin that put me on a horse, I'd be more than happy to gallop down a bridleway somewhere. Let the horses go. I'd be more than happy doing that. I'd be more than happy shooting. I'd more than happy go and do a full day shooting. But God forbid I ever put the two together.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did say it when we did the horse archery episode that we were going to go up and have Nye actually attempt it, which would be funny to see.
What's he trying to say?
I don't think. Well, I don't know whether I actually told you this, Neil, but I did actually used to ride up until about the age of 19.
So you know how to handle a horse then?
Yeah,
you'd be fine.
Yeah, I know how to not fall off.
Yeah, but you've got to grip with your thighs, and you just got to hold your bow and shoot it really quick while the horse is moving.
See, I'm not coordinated to do that.
I think it's brilliant.
I could maybe shoot one arrow. That would be about it. It's the fact that the guys get sick. It's the fact that John can shoot. John came up to the line, shot 4 arrows, and went off again by the time I'd loaded my arrow.
Yeah, they've definitely got a skill.
How good they are, man! It's lethal.
But it's great, isn't it? Because it's another avenue for archery, and it's just fantastic. I mean, I follow the horseback archery on social media, and I'm just in awe of what all of them can do on a horse. Shooting at those targets as it's galloping around. Absolutely amazing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The different disciplines having their own different histories as well. I really love looking into kind of, because you think you've picked up a horsebow. It's not just a horsebow. You could potentially have a Mongolian style horsebow, which has got thousands of years worth of history there.
And if anyone can, Genghis can.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Sorry, I just had to get that one in there.
Every opportunity he gets, he'll use that. But yeah, there's like when people turn up to archery clubs and they're doing target archery, they pick up a recurve bow and they just shoot it. Nobody actually sits there and considers the history of that thing that you've got in your hand and how far it goes back. Archery is such a timeless sport. It's going to way outlive all of us by probably thousands and thousands of years. And what other sports can you really say that about, to be honest?
Yeah, absolutely. I did a history piece a couple of years ago about longbow for something we were doing for the TV for Newark Castle, and it's just fascinating about how the longbow was pretty much the first kind of bow that was ever brought in the 1066, and the French were the ones that obviously started it, and then the English thought, oh, they look like interesting bows, so let's have a conflab and see what they're doing, and then the English longbow was born and stuff like that. It's just fascinating. It really is.
Yeah, and I think that's the good part of what I enjoy about archery is, like you say, it's been around way before us and it'll be around long after us. But the fact that we can actually be part of it now as well and help keep that story going forwards as well.
Absolutely. I mean, and hats off to the people who are at the elite level, our Olympic archers that have, put archery certainly across the world, but in this country, who in themselves have inspired, younger generations to be able to look for the sport and have a go at archery. I mean, what they're doing is fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Indeed.
And
All right, let's move on to our next question. So obviously that we've covered quite a lot there in the last
I was going to say, I
20
can tell
minutes.
you're itching to drop a question in, Neil.
Let's move on to the work you've done in the deaf community. So just straight up, what inspired your mission to work with the deaf community? Was there a specific moment or person that kind of sparked it off, or was it just there was a need there that you need to fill?
It was something I met somebody at a school who was partially deaf, a young child. And I stood there and I'm thinking, this is really sad on my half, the fact that I couldn't particularly communicate with this individual very well. I mean, I'm very expressive with my hands anyway, and we managed to sort of like muddle our way through the archery and really wanted to give them the opportunity to shoot, and it went really, really well. And then I just thought, come on, Mandie, you've got time, you can do this, let's find a course. And it just so happens that Grantham College were doing a funded level 1 course. And I thought, right, okay, I'm going to enroll on this, I'm going to get myself, through the level 1. And then from that, there are deaf archers, shooting. It really helped me when I volunteered at the Books and Bounty at Lillyshaw a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Because there was an archer there who was deaf, and I managed to be able to sign the target number and where he needed to go. And he was very, very appreciative of the fact that I could do something that was quite simple, but for him was a big deal because, I was doing his language. I mean, I'm not by any means an expert with it, but I do tinker with it, and I'm always, every day I will learn a different word and recap on the words that I've learnt. And it's important within the archery community to not only be able to have some basic sign language, sort of, things like hello, what's your name, how are you, but also the rules, because whistle commands can be an issue for people hard of hearing. So I've instigated whereby if we do have somebody that I'm working with who's deaf, we have colour beans. So I will explain to them that if the bean that I drop on the shooting line when they're on the waiting line, so if it's a green one, means they can go up to the shooting line. I will explain to them that if I throw it on the range that they need to come off, because obviously they're not going to hear the fast. And it's being inclusive. It's about, why should they be out on the edge when actually just by a few things you can actually bring them into the mix of archery.
Yeah, and I think
it's come in handy.
One thing that I noticed when I was going through the level 1 or the session coach course. Now, obviously, I'm hard of hearing myself. I wear hearing aids, and so I have a lot of sensory issues with my ADHD. So sometimes I have to take them out, and it makes it the frequency of whistles are generally in the range that I can't hear. So it does make it difficult. There was one thing that I brought up with the judges is the fact that it's in the rules you can't have electronic items, and for a long time there was a rule that kind of made me sit there going, well, I have Bluetooth in my hearing aids because they're more advanced. Does that mean I have to take my hearing aids out, kind of thing? But when we were going through the actual session coach course, I know there was a lot focused on visually impaired archers, but absolutely nothing on deaf or hard of hearing, and that's it's to me, and obviously a lot of people, that's going to be something that if we can get that kind of like mainstream, it's going to make a big difference to people that are participating in archery as well.
Absolutely, and I had spoken to Archery GB about, making something, trying to do something whereby we can, coaches or people who are, running clubs, and actually, give them some basic tools for them to have, so that when they get someone with, hearing difficulties, that they're not perplexed by it, that they actually, they invite it, they get invited, get included in everything. Because it is hard, and it's going back to what you've just said about, ADHD and sensory needs. I'm very aware that we have a couple of archers who are very sensitive to the sound of the whistle. So unfortunately, but we've also got people who are hard, a really hard difficulty to hear and need the whistle because they can register that. So it's getting that nice sort of like level ground of how you can appease one group and also the other group. So, we've sort of like suggested ear cancelling earphones in for those that are sensitive to it, and also making sure that we're not stood, the field captain's not stood next to them when they're about to blow the whistle. So again, it's just adapting and being aware of who's in your sessions.
Yeah, because I think basically cool. What I was going to ask you there, Mandy, because I was going to say, is there any? You've given us a good example. I was going to ask you about any particular challenges you'd faced with people when it's come to adapting sessions for people in the deaf community as well, or because obviously because obviously it's sort of, again, we're a sport for all. We want to bring people in, and at the end of the day, we all want to make it work as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's lots of people out there within the archery world that, are making it work and, getting different things, I say invented. I mean, there's some talented people out there. But when you're at your grassroots club, I always think sometimes people, if it's not, then people can't see me, but I'm going to use the inverted commas signal, normal. None of us are normal. We're all different. And it's being prepared to think outside the box of how you can make your session as fun, as inclusive for a person who has got hearing, visual needs, whether they've got sensory needs, whether they've got a physical disability. How can we make that session as good for them as we can with someone who just rocks up and says, we'll have a go at shooting? And I must admit, I'm not perplexed at all by anyone that comes to me for archery. And I'll give you an example. At the Newark Orchard Archers, when you work with children that have such complex needs, and your goal is to get them to shoot an arrow in whatever capacity you can, so long as it is safe, there is nothing more magical than seeing that child's face light up, even though they can't communicate. And there's a young male there who's supported in a chair. He's non-verbal. He's got many things going against him. He speaks with his eyes. His eyes absolutely just, really, you just want to grab him and give him a good scrunch. Now, he can't hold a bow. He can't hold a bow at all because his arms shake because from his cerebral palsy. And I'm there going, right, I'm going to get you to shoot. So I said to the ladies and the gents who were support workers, I said, bring him up to the line. I will hold the bow in my right hand. I will hold his hand. So he grabs onto my hand really, really tightly, and I maneuver his hand to the string. So he is actually touching it. He's not physically pulling it. And I'll communicate and look at him all the time, and we pull the string back and we just let it go. And the first time I did it with him, he was you could just tell that the whole experience, he would never, ever, ever anywhere else be able to do that. He wouldn't be able to go to a place, but I've been able to give him that opportunity, and he absolutely loved it. And that for me, and I've got my hand on my heart right now, that for me is why I do archery. At the same school, there's a young lady, the first time she came, absolutely terrified. Again, she's autistic, cannot communicate, waves her hands, quite quickly, and she wouldn't even come near it. So again, each time, coming to her, talking to her, say, look, this is the bow, this is how we load it, bringing her to the shooting line. If you could see the difference between that young lady this time last year to how she is this year at the club is absolutely phenomenal. Now she comes up, smiles, does a little dance. She will hold the bow. She tries to load it, and she now draws the string back towards the target and lets that arrow go. Now, anyone who's listening to this, any person can have an experience of shooting a bow and arrow, and safely. So I do want to reiterate that it's all done following the safety rules, and the support workers there as well. But giving these children, young adults, because some of them are 15 and 16, giving them that opportunity and seeing how that just impacts their life. And I'm even having the parents of some of these children saying how much it's helping them at home, because they're getting to focus. They're learning something different. They're learning how to maneuver their body. And it's just an absolutely amazing, amazing experience. And I'm really proud of having my Archery GB hat on when I deliver those sessions to those schools.
Yeah, sounds like a very similar story to part of my ambassador program stuff that I was doing is working with the Scouts. As a Scout leader myself, I remember, I think it was not last year, the year before, it was the first time I actually ran a session for the Scouts. It was one of the Northwest events that they hold called Cub Mudder, which is basically tough mudder, but for cubs. We had a side session off at Bispam Scout Camp. Now, I remember this quite vividly. We had a group of cubs. They were all coming up after they were all head to toe covered in mud. And I noticed there was a young lady that was stood in the corner, and she was you could see she was set back a bit. She was quite shy. I hadn't obviously paid much attention because they were just queuing up. And when this group actually got to us, she was kind of stood in the corner just watching everybody else do it. And I'm like, well, why is she not having a go, kind of thing? So I went over, spoke to her leader. I was like, she okay? She's looking a little bit nervous. And the leader just turned around and she said, well, we don't think that she'll be able to do it because she's an amputee. She's only got one arm. And I said to her, I was like, you come with me. I said, we'll get you shooting an arrow. And literally she held the bow and I drew the string back for her. And then I said, right, okay, you guide me where you want this arrow to go. And then you tell me when to let go and I'll let go. And the squeal that because she got it smack bang in the middle, in the gold, and she squealed so loud, I probably think that may have attributed to my hearing loss. It was that loud, but the excitement and joy that she was like, and the leaders turned around to me to like, thank you. She's never been able to actually get involved with stuff like this. And I was like, it's so simple, such a simple little thing to do for them. Yeah. And then I told them about the likes of Mark Stutzman and people that do shoot with these kind of needs that normally wouldn't get met, you just got to think outside the box. How do you do it in a safe way for them? That, you know, and like Mandy said, that is the important thing, doing it safely. But they can all have this experience, and archery is such an inclusive sport to allow us to be able to do stuff like that.
And and all you have to do for sight is look at him from Korea, and it's sort of I'll tell people, and they might have say come in and they might not have very good vision, and they'll be, I don't think I can do this because my vision's not very good. Oh, tell that to him. Who's he? Oh, the blind Korean lad that set a world record in 2012.
Yeah.
And then he's sort of like, you're having me on. Pull up Wikipedia. There you go. And then it's like, oh, well, of course we can.
Yeah.
And
You got the tools to do it.
And it always reminds me when I first started archery back a long time ago, back when the T-Rexes roamed the earth. But first, not that long ago, but yeah, it was me first walking in there as a little 8-year-old, and so we're talking 24 years ago, and my mate Harry was shooting, and Harry's completely unsighted, and he's there with the tactile sight as well. So it's always, archery for me has always been one where it's sort of, yeah, of course we can make if someone comes up with a different need that we can. It's like, yeah, of course we can work around it. If a friend of mine can do it without sight, then we can make it work safely for everyone as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing, though, isn't it? And if you're someone who has that ability and that passion to be able to, you know, give anyone who comes to you that experience, whether they, you know, have got limbs missing, whether they're the sight or the hearing or whatever, the neurodiverse, you know, it's brilliant. And I'm really a firm believer that anyone can do archery, as we all are, that's on this podcast. But it's making sure, you know, and it's like the experience that you've just said, Neil. And I know that we've made an impression. We've given someone a positive experience, which they might not have ever been able to have, you know, and we're delivering it in the disabled schools. It's giving lots of children a positive experience, and skill sets as well. So it's just fantastic. I absolutely love, as you can tell because I've said it several times now, being able to deliver archery to these wonderful people.
And I think next question I'd have for us, Mandy, is so obviously we're doing the ambassadors role and we're doing well with it. What would be our next what's like the next plans that we've got for as an ambassador, and then more widely as an archery advocate in general?
Oh, blimey. My goal is to get to as many people as possible. That's my ultimate goal, is to have every single person within my community having a go at archery. I really don't have any aspirations to be up at a certain level or anything like that. I'm happy being at the grassroots level and going and seeing all these different people that I get to meet on a daily, weekly basis, and that's what gives me satisfaction in what I do. And I think I don't know whether I've mentioned it, but I am working now with the local veterans to be able to get some of them to be able to do archery, because we've got a big establishment of veterans here in Newark. We've got probably about 120. They belong to the Patriotic Society that we have here. So I'm working now to be able to deliver that. I also, as well, dementia, which is, I've got personal experiences with this because my mum has now got vascular dementia, which is obviously quite upsetting for lots of people when they see their loved ones with this awful disease. So it's triggered me to connect with the local dementia groups to actually put on some soft archery sessions for those that are suffering with dementia or Alzheimer's with their partners. I did one a few months ago, and it was absolutely, again, rewarding to see some of these lovely people actually participating in archery. I'm not quite sure where I'm going next. I'm covering lots of different communities. I just want to be able to keep developing that and keep connecting to different people.
I tell you what, mate, that's a really inspiring. That sounds like really inspiring work that you're doing there. And wish you all the success with it as well, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is, because I mean, and it's a bit like neurodiverse, isn't it? Alzheimer's is something, and dementia, which affects the human brain, but they can still use their body, and it's about getting them to. They might not. Some of them can't process it cognitively, but they can process it functionally, if that makes sense. So they can still know their arm's going there because the nervous system is allowing it to, but they just don't have that communication to it. And it's just being able to see the reward from that person being able to do that, and when they let that arrow go, the reaction that you get from them. Even if they're non-verbal with the dementia, but you can tell a lot by people's eyes. I'm a great believer.
They say windows to the soul.
Yeah, absolutely. I never trust anyone who does not look at my eyes when I'm talking to them. So be warned, archery world.
I think one last thing from me before we wrap up and move on to our usual segments. So what advice would you give to other clubs or coaches that want to be more inclusive but don't know where to start?
Get out there in your community. That's where you start. And connecting with the different organisations that are within your community, because we all have different charities that are working. I have tried to connect with the deaf community in Newark. You've got the mental health, you've got Mind, you've also got bereavement organisations. So it's about establishing connections with those organisations and having the people with you that are happy to do these sessions and not be. I don't want to be condescending. Not be fearful. Just don't overthink it. Just do it. If you've got a smile on your face and you've got that ability and the knowledge, you'll be able to deliver anything to anybody. So my thing is just start connecting with local organisations that you have around. You can Google any organisation; it'll come up.
Fantastic. Right. So that's been an absolutely fantastic episode. I could talk for hours on this kind of subject, but I am getting very conscious of how long this episode's becoming.
I am quite happy for people to contact me if they want to chat with me about, somebody or an organisation or how to do it. I'm more than happy to talk to other fellow archers if they really want to get out in the community. So I'm quite happy to do that.
You happy for us to leave your contact details in the show notes for everybody to
Yeah, that's
get
fine.
in touch?
Absolutely fine.
Yep. Okie dokie. Right, so our usual segments then. This is Dai's favourite bit because he's always out and about doing stuff. So we shall start.
Which order do we want to do them?
We'll do it in our retrospective first. So any competitions that you've been to that have particularly stood out that you think deserve a little bit of a shout out? Try and see if we can get some more people back into tournaments.
So
we'll start with Nye. Let Mandie have a think.
So I'm going to have to, first of all, send out apologies that I've not been doing, I've not been shooting so much myself recently. But I know that Keswick Archers did have a really fun shoot at their new ground for their spring gathering. And I saw the pictures from when Lewis and Chris went up there, and it's a really lovely looking ground. And as per usual, June and Rob put on an absolutely amazing shoot. So I think for me, it's a bit. So I'm looking to get out to a couple more competitions soon, but yeah, that's been the thing that I've been hearing on the grapevine recently.
Yeah, so for me, it's going to have to be Asherton's Early Bird Albion that we had on the 13th of April. Atmosphere was absolutely fantastic. I know we had quite a lot of people that may have been their first shoot there. No, I know it wasn't necessarily a novice competition, but the amount of comments that we had on the line about how well run it was, how much fun people were having. Thankfully, we didn't have to look for arrows as much as we usually do.
That's because I wasn't shooting.
Yeah, that's because Nye wasn't shooting. But yeah, Asherton has a bit of a soft spot in my heart because it's where the podcast was born, kind of thing. With Nye, obviously we were there. We did some recording. It didn't actually come out very well, so unfortunately we're having to kind of pick and choose from what we managed to get there. That should be coming out on the social soon, once we've picked and choose out of what's actually usable.
And that's also why that was also the delays for last month's episode as well.
Yes, that was going to be last month's episode, but we were actually both in the field for the first time ever. Unfortunately, the recording didn't come out very well, so we had to forego that.
Yeah, so apologies from us for last month, but we're going to make it up to you with some good content from Asherton, and hopefully get some stuff from Bex as well.
Yeah. Mandie, you got anything that you've been to recently?
Oh yeah, I have. I attended the first series of Run Archery at Shipston Archers. It's the first time that they had put one on, and that was really, really well organised. They did neglect to tell us all that it was actually up a slope when we were doing it. It was great to see a variety of different people actually participating in the sport, and it was very, very well run and organised. And that was part stage 1 of a series of 6, which are going. I think Neston did one this last weekend, which I couldn't attend, but a big shout out to them. And there's Deer Park, Harlequin, and Red Hill that are doing stuff. So if people want to go on those, Sport 80, they're all listed. Get yourself down there and have a go. But as most people know, I do an awful lot of clout. So I've just come back from Driffield doing a clout. Doing a but couldn't do it because it was too windy. So we managed to do Sunday. Sunday we couldn't do the arrows on the arrowless. The bank holiday by Goldcrest in the morning. The competition is finalised, and it's a big thank you to everybody who gives the time to do the scenes work.
And that, I believe, leads us on nicely to my section. I'm going to jump in here, Neil, and go for my next section of Unstrung Unsung, where we give someone in the archery community, or past or either present, who's someone who's done something for us recently, or might be someone from our past in archery that's been really inspirational to us to get us where we are now, who maybe flies under the radar a bit. So I think just to give Neil and Mandie a bit of time to think about this one, I'll start us off. And yeah, in just harping back to previous discussion where we're talking about my good friend Harry, who was absent sight, and yeah, just a big thank you to Harry, because he was like almost in yeah, he took me under his wing early on when I started as a young lad, and yeah, I learnt a lot from Harry, and he's played a big part in shaping me into the archer that I am now, and yeah, just want to say thank you to Harry for looking after me and everything, and I'll hopefully see you soon. And Mandie, would you like to jump in next on this one?
Yeah, I would actually, because there's an archer who's helped me an awful lot over the last few years, who unfortunately has been suffering from ill health himself, and his name's Ian Pepper. He's an advocate of archery. He's so inspirational with how he's always there to help and support people, and he's been absent from the shooting line for the best part of a year, 18 months, and continues to do a lot of work for our club. So I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Ian Pepper and his dad jokes, because he has a habit of letting us all. He tells us all dad jokes, and you're just like, oh, really? But they're actually quite funny.
Yeah, we'd get on like a house on fire then.
Yeah, I think. Oh God, I'm just thinking if I ever met Ian, it'd just be dad joke central between us.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. He's dad joke city.
I like the sound of it, and yeah, big thank you from. I think I can speak for both Neil and myself here to say a big thank you to Ian as well.
Yeah, bless him.
And hopefully things are good for him soon as well.
Yeah, fingers crossed. He's tentatively come back to the shooting line, and his health hopefully is beginning to improve. And we've all got fingers crossed.
Yeah, same here.
Fingers crossed. And I believe over to Mr. Hickman. Over to yourself, sir.
Yes, so I haven't got anybody in particular like I normally would. However, I am going to use this opportunity to actually announce our ambassadors that we recently took on. I say recently, it was several months ago now. We just not had a chance to actually announce them. So we picked up 4 new ambassadors for Unstrung Archery podcast. And they are, in fact, one of them is actually been on the show before, kind of in the background, but that is our current ambassador's dad, Stuart Ward. Absolutely fantastic archer, and he's really putting in the effort and getting the scores up there. Obviously, that's not why we sponsor people for Unstrung Archery at all, but he really has made an impact, and he's doing really well. So well done, Stuart, for that. Also, we've got another one from Wigan and Orrell. He's one of our, well, he's not so much junior anymore. He's getting old now. But that is Matthew Horsfield. Absolutely fantastic.
He's getting old. The lad's only 18. He's not old.
Yeah, he's old. He gives me enough grief on the shooting line. It's about time he got some back. So yeah, Matthew Horsfield, well done on joining the squad there. Obviously, you'll probably see them dotted around with their pro team shirts on. I'll hand over to Nye to announce his picks, and then we'll talk a little bit about next year. We're going to be opening it up for applications as well.
Yeah, so we decided to start off to get the ambassador scheme working to split it between Wigan and Orrell and Morecambe Bay Archers. So to introduce my picks, first of all, is a young man that I've coached for, well, pretty much since I started back at Northern Archery, just after as pandemic started to ease, and that's young Isaac Hamburg. He's really putting hard work in, turns up to training, works hard, and yeah, he's starting to see the rewards. So yeah, really good to have you on board, Isaac. And my second is a young man who we adopted from my old club. He came to join us for a bit of competition practice, and yeah, we've kept hold of it. We've kept him and his dad shooting with us ever since, and that's young Lewis Paskin, who's testing himself throughout the on the competition scene, and hopefully we'll get him down to Wigan to come and shoot with yourself as well, Neil, sometime soon. So again, well done, Lewis, and both lads have been working super hard, and good to have them shooting in the podcast shirts as well.
Yeah. So if you see anybody in an Unstrung shirt, make sure you say hi. They're all a nice bunch.
I need one.
So yeah. So me and I had a good talk about this. Now, obviously, the podcast isn't here to make money, but we can't continue to do this without at least making some, so we can give back to the community. So that's the whole point of the Postal League. To try and raise funds, and that's what we're going to be using the money for, to be able to open up the ambassador program to more people. One of my main goals for the ambassador program is to get people noticed by some of the bigger sponsors, get people talking about these archers, and just they're great for the sport. They go out there and they give it their all, and they kind of show what archery is all about. If you've ever met any of them on the line, they're great to talk to. They're very knowledgeable about the sport, even the ones that are only just starting out. I really want to try and promote this kind of fun aspect of grassroots archery, which is one of the main things for why I started the Postal. Well, I say started the Postal. It was kind of Nye tried to talk me out of it because he remembers what the NBA, the Postal League was like, but we got there in the end. Results of which should be coming out very, very soon once we've verified all of the scores. We have actually got a bit of software now that makes it a little bit easier. We just dump the scores into that and it spits out who's won, which is great.
I'm counting on it, Neil, because it's. I told Neil how hard the amount of effort it took to do the scores manually, and I don't think he quite anticipated quite how tricky it was doing them manually, mate.
Yeah, no, but once I got the software up and running, because it's something that I've made myself, so and it works brilliantly, and we're trying to tweak it so it'll basically work itself. We literally just put the scores in and away it runs.
My hairline was down here before the Postal Leagues came along, Mandie.
Dear.
No, but we say this, but no, genuinely, it's really to everyone listening, it's really great to have people on board, and look, for me, it's the chance that I've made a lot of pen pals through it as well. So, I wish if you guys would permit me, there's a couple of shout outs from from the Postal League that I think we need to give as well. So
go for it.
So firstly is to long time pen pal of mine and supporter of the NBA. A couple of pen pals and supporters of previously Morecambe Bay Archers Postals, and now Unstrung Archery Postals, and that's Andy Harbour from Archers of Bronze, along with Sarah Jones who's a club mate, and also so they're two. Erica Greensmith Giles and the Johns from City and Sherwood, and a gentleman who's been active down supporting us down in Northamptonshire, and that's Mr. Scott from Welland Valley Archers as well. So, and there's a lot of people who have missed out in that as well. The guys from Cumbria that, well, I hopefully tell them enough anyway, and Kev from Scotland, so hopefully the guys all know how much we appreciate that. Both myself and Neil appreciate the support as well. Anyway, Neil, I've carried on. I've taken up enough there. I'll hand back to you, sir.
Not a problem. So obviously we're going to be reopening the Postal again in October. For getting started in November, so keep an eye out for that. Once we've got the ball rolling with the second season of the Postal League, we will be opening up applications in January for the new intake of ambassadors for next year. So keep an eye out on the website and on our social medias for that as well. Should we move on to the quick fire round?
Oh, also a competition we're looking forward to.
Oh, yes, we've got that too. So competitions that we are looking forward to. I'm going to do a shameless plug here, yet again. So we have actually been able to secure an extra date at Wigan and Orrell Archers for, obviously we put on the annual head-to-head 720 and head-to-head in August. The weekend before that, we have now secured a junior metric and head-to-head, which is going to be fun to give the juniors a bit of a stab at doing the head-to-head format, which at least around this area is not something they get to do very often. I think the only chance people get around here is going down to Lilleshall and doing the youth festival and stuff like that. So that is on the 3rd of August is the junior metrics and head-to-head, and then the 720 for the seniors and head-to-head is on the 10th. So it'd be great to see people down there. It is UK record status for the juniors, and the 720 for the seniors is world record status as well. So that's mine. Nye?
So obviously, I'm going to do my shameless self-promoting next month for my shoots, but so I'll be promoting our American next month, but in the meantime, there's a couple of Cumbrian events coming up that I want to give a shout out to. So Keswick Archers are running their 14-foot, their first 1440 shoot, and it's a UK record status one at the new ground, and that one is on the 29th of June. And then at the end of July we have the Jim Skivington Memorial Shoot, and that is the 26th and 27th of July. There is a double 720 on the Saturday, and the Sunday is a 720 head-to-head. So both two shoots that well, for me as a Cumbrian archer, it's the ones that are very important. Obviously, I love Keswick, and I never got to know Jim well, but he's one where he was, from what all the things people have told about me, sounds like the sort of man that I would have loved to have got, that would have got on with well now. So, yeah, two events that I'll be looking to support as much as I can in the coming months. And with that, I'll hand over to you, Mandie.
Well, what am I doing this weekend? I've got two different hats on. I'm doing a BLBS shoot in Meriden, Woodman of Arden, and then I'm going to a shoot on Sunday at Sherwood Archers here in Nottinghamshire. It's their 720. I think it's a head-to-head 720 head-to-head world archery record status shoot. So give it a big shout out for there. And we do lots of competitions within Notts County, so there's different things. We do a league shoot in Nottinghamshire as well, so that's based over 3 shoots, and I think that's a week on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm getting my longbow out on Saturday and my barebow out on Sunday. And I might have a go compound at some point.
Also a busy weekend then.
Yeah, it is a busy weekend. I think every weekend from now until October is taken up with different archery competitions. And I'm even going to Bannockburn up in sunny Scotland to do a clout.
Oh, nice.
And that's next month. So I like to get around a bit and support different competitions going on around the UK.
Yeah. Oh, mate, that sounds brilliant. That.
Very good. Yeah.
And that City and Sherwood will be the Sherwood Archers. You guys won't they?
City of Sherwood is a different club to Sherwood Archers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm getting. It's the Sherwood part that's getting me carried away there.
Yeah. They're not far. The City of Sherwood are not far away, but Sherwood Archers from me is only about 8 miles away. So they're based at South.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, is it the quick fire round, Neil?
Yeah, let's move on to our quick fire round. So, nice quick answers, and yeah, there's only a couple of questions on this one. So, okay, so Mandie, favourite snack after a shoot?
Banana. Boring, I know.
Nice.
No, there's some good benefits from eating bananas. Potassium, energy, regen, and all
Spot the personal trainer.
that.
Okay. One thing you can never leave home without on competition day.
I've done this before. I've turned up to a competition and left my arrows at home.
Oh. No.
Yeah, that's kind of a necessity, that one. I think we've pretty much already know the answer to this one. But what's the coolest thing about being an archer?
You get to shoot a bow. Well, you get to shoot an arrow down the range.
I'm looking forward to the answer to this one, Mandie. If your bow could talk, what would it say about you?
Get it in the gold.
Indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
And funniest thing that's happened to you at a competition?
Funniest thing that's happened. Oh, I can't even think of anything. Can't think of anything. Oh, someone was dressed in a honey monster hat. That was interesting.
A honey monster?
Yeah, honey,
Yeah.
from Sugar Puffs.
Oh,
We're obviously similar generation.
He's showing his age again here.
Yeah, lovely guy though.
Dream place to shoot archery.
Oh, I'm going to say Lily Schultz.
Oh, nice. And to round it off, would you rather shoot 100 arrows at a giant marshmallow or 10 arrows at a moving target?
Oh, 100 arrows at a giant marshmallow, definitely. Stand more chance of hitting it.
You do get to eat it afterwards.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
if it survives. Right, so we're going to wrap it up there. It's been an absolutely fantastic episode, Mandie. Thank you very much for coming on and sharing everything that you're
thank you, Mandie.
I think that's probably going to be our longest episode to date. But there's just so much content in there that it's been absolutely brilliant talking to you.
Oh, no, that's what we need for the podcast. It's getting people to see the human side of the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
The amount of times my work do a podcast and it's sort of, I am here to talk to you about environmental science as I put on my wellies to walk into the river.
Well, I'm falling to sleep now.
Exactly. Yeah. We need the soul.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you very much for everybody that's joining us and listening to this episode. Make sure you check out the show notes for all of Mandie's contact details and everything that she's getting up to. And from me and Nye, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Let's do super glue.
Before we sign off, we want to hear from you guys, our amazing listeners. If you have any questions, stories, or insights you'd like to share, we'd love to feature your voice on our next episode. Just hit that recording button on your phone or computer and send your voice clip to us. You could be part of the conversation. Plus, we are building a vibrant archery community on our Discord server. It's the perfect place to connect with fellow archers, share your experiences, and stay updated on all things Unstrung Archery. You'll find the links to both our voice submission platform and our Discord server on our link tree or in the episode description below. Your voice matters and we can't wait to have you join the discussion. Until next time, keep those questions coming and stay safe in your archery journey.